Hey guys, welcome to Irish Medieval History, and today I want to specifically concentrate on a really easy guide on politics on Viking Age Ireland, starting from the bottom of Ireland and working my way up to the top. Right at the bottom of Ireland and the start of the Viking Age, you have Cork. Cork is only really a trading hub. It's nowhere that significant and very important, so I think I can start off with the basics right there and then. Cork is a Viking settlement by 836, and its main allies is St. Finbarrs, which is actually right next to it. St. Finbarrs was being harassed by Cashel, which is just north from there, and are the kings of Munster. Munster and Cork, on and off, basically every cattle raiding season have a go off each other. Cattle raiding season starting off in around this time of the year, February, and then going as far as Halloween. Halloween will be about the end of cattle raiding season in Ireland. And it's mostly when the cattle go out, do what cattle do out in the fields. I don't really mind because that's the point where I go out and steal the cattle. I go take the cattle and then bring them over to my tuat, and vice versa. They'll come back, try to take it off me, have a fight. That's cattle raiding season in a nutshell. The Vikings came in because they wanted to defend. A lot of Viking mercenaries wanted to protect the trade hub, which is Cork. And the Vikings would be hired by St. Finbarrs to go out and attack Cashel, because Cashel ultimately wanted to take Cork's cattle as a form of tribute and submission. So that's why Cashel and Cork don't like each other. Interestingly enough, Limerick, which is right next to Cashel, is allied to Cashel against Cork and St. Finbarrs. So straight away you can see that politics in Ireland is actually not as black and white as it is with the rest of Europe, where we see a very much Christian versus Viking kind of state of mind. Something on those lines, especially in England and stuff. You find straight away from the get-go in Ireland, it's not like that at all. It's actually very mixed. Moving on, we go up to Waterford, where the Waterford Vikings are, and it's once again very, very similar, where the Waterford Vikings are actually allied to the locals, the Dacia, and they're fighting Uisreacha. Uisreacha is today modern Kilkenny at the centre of it. Obviously the territory of Uisreacha is much more bigger than modern day Kilkenny, but that rivalship can still be seen today in the hurling. In fact, much of the rivalship we can see with cattle raiding can be found in modern day hurling, unless you do the reenactment like I do, where we fully reenact even the rivalship of cattle raiding amongst each other in our war bands. And that's pretty much what it is. The Vikings came in and they either filled the gap as traders or as war bands. We'll quickly move up to Dublin. Dublin also, as you know yourself, is a Viking settlement. Interestingly enough, the Dublin Vikings are not allied to their local Southern Nail allies. They're in fact fighting against the Southern Nail for most of the time, and they're allied with Northern Nail. Northern Nail is also to take note as well. We have plenty of literature to show that they were fostering children amongst the Dublin Vikings and the Northern Nail, which seen over time the assimilation of Scandinavians into Irish society, where Scandinavians would come in, they would marry Irish women, or vice versa. Scandinavian women would marry local men, and from there their children would get fostered in within various tuats, which are the kingdoms of the time, and slowly but surely they would be digested into the politics of Ireland of, you know, every cattle raiding season going out stealing cattle. Now, although it seems like they were broken up into different networks and stuff, the main thing is they were also somewhat united as well, because the main currency coming into Ireland at the time was going into Dublin. So although the Ever, the family that was dominant in Dublin, controlled, for most of the Viking Age, controlled Dublin and the trade networks, the Southern Nail were not looking to push out the Vikings. There's this myth that, when I say Vikings, by the way, I'm talking about Scandinavians. I should actually tell the difference actually. Scandinavians are traders and Vikings are raiders. And yeah, actually, I take a complete step back. The Southern Nail are looking to get rid of the Viking raiders, the pirates, right? Because they're not good. They're the villains, of course. But the Southern Nail are looking to keep all the Scandinavians. Scandinavians are good. they bring in a lot of money. So people get bogged down in that. And the reason why they bring in so much money is because of trade. And the Tuats in Ireland are looking to protect the trade networks of Ireland. And they also need to protect their investments in York. So you will find a lot of Gael Irish Vikings will also join up other Gaelic or Fenian, and they'll also go over to England up to York, and they'll fight together to protect York. And the reason why they need to protect York against the King of England, for example, or the Scottish King, is because from York then they could trade into Denmark. So Denmark, York and Dublin needed to be protected. And you see a lot of alliances happening between the Gael, the Irish Vikings, and the Scandinavians, the Danish Vikings and the Norwegian Vikings. While sometimes you see Norwegian Vikings looking to take and fight back, that's up in 950, where you have Eric Bloodaxe who will come down and start fighting the Gael, the Hiberno Scandinavians, and also the Picto Scandinavians, who are the Scottish Vikings. So it can be quite complicated in England to a certain degree, but for the most part it is Vikings against the English and Scots. And the Irish are pretty much together, the Gael, later on known as the Ustmen Irish Vikings. Just to make it even more easier, just call them Ustmen, because you do have Scottish Vikings who are also known as Gael as well. So if you want to really make it simple, Ustmen is a good term. The Ustmen are allied with the Gaelic when they're overseas, just to protect York. So if you have any more questions from that, and obviously you have other factions in there as well, such as the Ullid and Connacht, but for this one, make it simple on yourself and just concentrate on Munster, Leinster, Usherga, Southern Nail, who are fighting against the Dublin Vikings, but at the same time they're still looking to protect their investments in Dublin as well as the Scandinavians, and they'll also have Viking warbands fighting with them, which does make it somewhat complicated. But the family itself, Iver, in Dublin, the Dublin Vikings are allied with Northern Nail, so it's somewhat complicated, but yeah, we're still dealing with 200 years of history here, so alliances change, and that's the drama and the fun of it. So I've tried to make it as simple as possible in this somewhat 10-minute video, and hopefully it worked, and hopefully you guys will understand a tiny bit more of simple Irish politics. Anyway guys, hope you enjoyed, and all the best.